Yo, this is a crazy week for you just for a lot of reasons, and I feel like this is a great start for you. And I just appreciate the fact that you come down and talk to us for one time, man. So
hey, it's no problem at all. I hope we can do it more often.
Absolutely. We definitely will do. Now for the folks that don't know, you from Panorama City,
Yeah,
right?
Panorama City.
Now, a lot of the listeners that may be outside of L.A., kind of give a description of what Panorama City is like when you were growing up, bro.
I mean, Panorama City, it's still Los Angeles County. It's just one of the smaller cities within the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Growing up, it was real ghetto. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's nothing like like what Compton was portrayed to be, but it had similar characteristics. Right. So there was a lot of gang violence going on, and a lot of Bloods and Crips around in the neighborhood, and drive-bys from time to time, and just a lot of fighting, a lot of poor people, a lot of fighting, and
what typically happens in the ghettos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was just one of those things. I grew up with a little crew of people, and we would just ride our bikes throughout the streets.
Got you.
Go wherever the wind took us, and just got involved in things. Some things good, some things bad.
So you never had to choose a side.
No, because I never stepped into that that gang world like that. I always it was right there within my apartment buildings and all that. But
that shit go down.
Yeah. So I saw it, but and I was really young at the time. Once I started getting older, around 14, 15, it started to die down. And everybody who was in Panorama City, they start moving out to Lancaster and stuff like that. So so then it just turned to just normal ghetto, poor people, but it wasn't as much violence. And I've always been like the person who stayed positive though.
Mm-hmm.
I was always just focused on a goal, and I was always drawing, skateboarding, trying to do music or something like that. So I never really stepped my foot in that.
So that was your escape
side
early on. Now prior to music and you dabbled into that, you said you were drawing, skateboarding. What were some of the early professions that you thought about possibly getting into? Was skateboarding and drawing like you wanted to be an artist, or was it just like that was hobbies and you still had something that you wanted to be as a career?
I used to want to play football.
Okay.
That was probably my first dream.
You trying to be Bo Jackson up in that motherfucker.
Yeah. I wanted to be a running back, and I was really fast. I was really fast. So it started out with sports because my brothers used to play sports, and my whole family just really fast. So it was either gonna be track or football, but then sports wasn't really my thing. I had a natural gift at being extremely fast, but I just didn't.
Some just didn't click. Huh?
Yeah. I was just going to practice and all that. I just kept skipping. I was like, man.
With me, I was fast too, and when it came to basketball, I like basketball, but I was better in the streets than I was in the actual game, and better in practice. And I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. It's like that sometimes. Yep.
Yeah, man. So you into that, and you remind me of one of my boys that I grew up with, my dude named DeAndre, because he was the first person I ever saw black dude that was into skateboarding.
Yeah.
And to me, that was just fucking, it blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck? That doesn't happen. So talk about your transition to being a skateboarder and that lifestyle. And you and DJ Head kind of got that in common. This motherfucker's a skater. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm
that's
retired.
Oh, man. Hey, but it's still in your heart, though.
Yeah. Off the bungalows and all that shit.
Yeah. That's what's up. When I got into skateboarding, I got those same looks, because people didn't see it wasn't common to see black people skateboarding.
Right. Not at all.
And one of my inspirations in skateboarding was a dude named Kareem Campbell. He was from, you remember Kareem? Yeah.
I bought the $115 shoes.
Damn.
You remember the blue DCs?
The blue DCs? Yeah. I remember he had action footwear.
Before that, he had the blue DCs. They cost me $115. I need that back.
Oh, really?
Damn. Where you at?
Yeah. So he was kind of my inspiration as to being a black skateboarder because, he was killing it, and he was one of the most popular skateboarders at the time. But I didn't get into skateboarding because I was trying to do a black versus white thing. I just loved it. I just like skateboarding, and a lot of my homies around the neighborhood, we all kind of got into it at the same time. And so we kind of made it cool in our neighborhood for the black people to start skating more, because then once we started, it was like 5 or 6 of us, and then everybody just started doing it over the years because they saw us doing it. And I mean, nowadays it's very common to see black skateboarders.
Yeah, I felt like after Lupe Fiasco did Kick Push, I felt like it just opened the floodgates. Even though there was a lot of motherfuckers doing it before then, but I felt like that made it quote unquote mainstream for motherfuckers to really go out there and do that shit. And that could be on the surface value. A lot of people may not agree, but I'm like, after I seen that, I felt like I seen more people feel like it was acceptable versus before then. Nobody was trying to do that. Like, you would have yourselves and like the heads or whoever like really be into that life. But after that, it just became acceptable. So you had every black motherfucker trying to pick up a skateboard and doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But yeah, I used to get all types of crazy looks. You know, when I would skate by the swap meet with my homies, I remember this one dude. He was like, "Man, what y'all niggas doing on skateboard? Niggas ain't supposed to skate. Y'all niggas doing that white boy shit." And we felt stupid. We're like, "Damn, we
ain't supposed to be doing this."
Yeah. But you know, I mean, it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. It's undeniable. So
what made you want to pick up the pen, man, and get into the music? I mean, you talked about skateboarding, talked about the arts and drawing, but then what for you? I guess let's put it like this. What was the first cassette, song, whatever that you actually purchased with your own money?
That I actually purchased with my own money? It was, I think it was like D12 World.
Wow.
Yeah. That was probably the first one that I ever purchased. That or Get Rich or Die Trying, one of those. I was like 14 years old, something 15. But I got into rap around 14 years old, and what made me get into it was, I had this one program on. I had Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo was already outdated at this time, but there was this game called Mario Paint where you could make beats on it.
I remember that. Yep.
You could make these little beats, and then I used to love the song Rough Riders Anthem by DMX.
That was my shit.
And I made a beat on there, and I made the Rough Riders Anthem beat. It sounded stupid, but I tried to duplicate it, and then I just wrote my own little rap to it, and I was like, man, this is tight.
Yeah.
Like this is like
it's
this
gonna hit.
Yeah. So then I was like, man, so I just started doing it more often. I was like, man, I need more beats. Like I wish I had beats, and I didn't know about instrumentals or anything. But then one of my friends was like, yo, you can get this. There's this website called Napster where you can download instrumentals.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can actually download the beats with no lyrics. He was like, yeah. And I was like, man, no way. And then I started downloading all these instrumentals, and I just started writing all these different instrumentals. And I was kind of making like parody songs at first, because just kind of making a mockery of the songs that was already out, and just putting funny stuff onto it. Yeah, and I would record it on a tape player. But then I just started getting better and better at that, where I was like, man, I'm actually like really spitting some bars low key. So I just started making my own songs, and then I wanted to have my own beats and not rap over other people's beats. So I was asking, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know where to start to make your own beats. So one of my homies was like, yo, there's this program called Fruity Loops. You can make your own beats. And I was like, what? Then he brought it to school the next day. Then I installed.
Did you have the trial version, or did you?
He gave me the legit version.
Okay.
Yeah. He gave me. He with the.
Yeah.
It was cracked. Always cracked.
Of course,
We didn't have no money for it. Yeah, we didn't have any money.
It's funny because most motherfuckers start off with the trial
Trial.
version.
Yeah.
Export the MP3s, and that's how you make your beats. And shit.
Oh man, that would have been bad. But yeah, so he hooked me up with the full version, and I just started making beats from there. And I've been producing all my songs ever since.
So you really got into production.
All of them, every single one. Yeah, every single one.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first, like one of the first rhymes you ever written?
Yes, it was whack.
It was whack. Do you remember it?
I kind of do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, spit it. Let's hear that.
Who's that? It's the lyrical Hopsin, leaving rappers in the dust, and I got them feeling nauseous. You better watch out for me because I'm cautious. I'm here to do rap music, no time for nonsense, man. I'm a lyrical. That's all I remember. It was also Vanilla Ice shit. I can't remember. I can't remember the whole thing. I have the song. I would have brought it if I had known. But yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible though. It was cool at the time. I thought I was killing it.
Was Hopsin always your name?
I started out with. It was lyrical Hopsin. You know when you first come in the game, you got to
get that MC shit out.
If you think that's the way, like I'm lyrical. I ain't just
miracle.
I'm lyrical Hopsin. So it was lyrical. That's so whack.
Then he was like, y'all got to drop this shit. You know what's was funny, man? I don't remember what year it was. Rest in peace to my dude Gadget, man. He was the first person to actually bring me your music. I forgot who he was working with at the time. I don't know if he was working for. I don't know if he was working for Capitol at the time, but he was always pushing artists left and right, or just just putting that. But I remember him bringing me a CD. And when I seen it, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, just because it was just so crazy to look of it. I was like, yo, who is this? He's like, yo, this is a kid named Hopsin. He's dope, man. Just, said check out for him. Woo, woo. I didn't get a chance to, like, look into it or anything past that, but that was the first time that I heard your name. And then 3-4 years later, that's when the, I forget, what was the record that you was dissing motherfuckers out?
Fuck. Was it? It wasn't Sag My Pants. Was it? ILL Mind.
You know, I think it was Sag My Pants.
Sag My Pants came out 2010, summer 2010.
I want to say it was before that then.
It was before. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't be because that 2010 is kind of when I.
The start?
Yeah, that's when it started. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was 2008 or 2009 that I heard it. But
Yeah.
Anyway, that's when I seen. I was like, yo, this is the same motherfucker that Gadget showed me who it is. And then just to see that to the progression now is it's just amazing to see somebody start and not give up no matter what the perception is, because you can always look at judge a book by its cover and then not really understand somebody's story. But to see you go from there to doing what you're doing now and really be heavily independent and really pushing your shit is just dope to see, just on a progression tip. So I salute you on that, because a lot of motherfuckers would give up based on somebody like, hey motherfuckers, you shouldn't wear contacts. Or you shouldn't look like this or that.
I still get it. I mean, it's just a challenge to me, because I look at things like there's a lot of great celebrities, famous people, musicians who did crazy things, but like Kiss with the makeup, face paint, or Michael Jackson. I mean, he's great, but those outfits, they're great because Michael Jackson made them great. But let's not pretend like they're not ridiculous. They are absolutely ridiculous. But he made it work, and I'm sure that. And I mean, I don't know how things were back then, but. Yeah, it's just I think if you're good at what you do, then people will start to identify your weirdness as a good thing, and it kind of compliments you.
So what was the thing behind the contacts? Like, what made you start wearing the contacts?
I used to do a lot of showcases in Los Angeles. I used to be everywhere. So, and I remember like I went to this one showcase and everybody showed up and we all looked the same.
He was like,
we all had a big old white tee on, some baggy ass pants and a fitted hat. Yeah, with the little chain. I was like, man, we look exactly the same. Like everything was the same. Had the same swag. I was like, I can't like.
It was from it was from that moment. I got the contacts.
Right up. So I just realized I had to do something to make me stand out so people could remember me, because I know. Even if people remember the song or they like what I was performing, they weren't going to remember my face because we all look the same. So I just had to, the white contacts was going to make sure that they never forgot me. So that
What's
was
the most standout track that like people who follow you?
I would say my biggest song up to date. I mean, as far as like
it don't have to be a song. It could be whatever. It could be a freestyle, a verse.
It's I mean, the song "Sag My Pants." That's like my biggest song. Like if I do a concert, they want to hear that just because they all know the chorus and everything, and that was kind of what got me into the game. But it's my actual like biggest song or most powerful song that has the most views and sold the most records is ILL Mind of Hopsin 5. Yeah, that was the one about society and all that.
Yeah, because I just remember like back then, like a lot of people weren't like YouTube was around. But it wasn't accessible. Like it wasn't that many blogs. It wasn't that many websites to get music. So
I feel you.
That's like, how did you get in? Like, did you just start putting it on YouTube and people start taking it, or did you? Like,
I started putting music out on YouTube, and I kept track of my fans through my Facebook page and Twitter, and that's kind of and the thing about me is I would do a lot of webcam shows and talk to my fans, because I knew that if they liked my music, it's rare to see an artist communicate with the fans like in a real way. So I just really wanted to show the appreciation back to them. So I would be on webcam like once or twice a week for like 2 or 3 hours and just talking to fans. They would come in and would just joke around and stuff.
Ustream back then, or what was it?
I used Ustream. I also used Tiny Chat.
Tiny Chat.
Tiny Chat used to go up.
Yeah, Tiny Chat definitely. Tiny Chat had a dark side to it. Everybody
be productive, or
you gonna be on some bullshit.
It was
I got into some bullshit on Tiny Chat, bro. Shout out to Danielle, dog. That shit used to be crazy.
Tiny Chat.
Tiny Chat was like, it was like a party. It was like a party room when you go in there.
Remember the loop?
The party
line.
The party line and loop, but it was with cameras and shit. 8 or 12 people looking and shit.
That shit was crazy.
People would host that shit. Yeah. It was fun though. I can't lie. I found myself on there like
I'm about to log
like 8 hours a night sometimes. Just like, what am I doing? Like,
what am I doing?
Yeah. That's it. And you really sucked into, like focused into it, and you just stay on there for hours and hours to the sun coming up. You're like, damn, I've been on here all fucking night.
Tiny Chat still exists.
Because you could just hop from room to room.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's Devil's Playground.
That's true.
All right, so go ahead.
What was your inspiration behind the ILL Mind 1 through 8, the series?
It started as back when MySpace was around. I used to like I was depressed a lot, so it started as a little blog thing that I would post where I was just depressed, and I would just say the ILL Mind of Hopsin, and I would just talk about my life. It had nothing to do with rapping.
Shit.
So I would just be like, I don't have money for the rent. My mom's trying to work hard. I'm trying to do this. And
so you was doing a Kanye rant before the Kanye rant.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
But nobody, I didn't have any followers.
Right.
Nobody was really paying any attention to it. But
is it safe to say that Kanye got the rants from you?
Look,
I'm trying to get a headline. So Hopsin says Kanye stole his swag.
Yes.
You never know. I mean, I don't know if he might have been following me on MySpace way back in the day. Who knows? But yeah. So it started as that. But then once everything kind of started taking off for me, I was just like, let me just turn these into like a rap series. So I made my first one with just me kind of freestyling in my basement. And it didn't do too well, but it kind of just made people go, okay, this dude can spit.
He raps, that's good.
Yeah, but I didn't plan on making them all about rap. I just wanted the ILL Mind of Hopsin was just gonna be whatever I wanted it to be. So it could have been me practicing a skateboard trick and then eventually learning how to land it, consistently. And then so the first one was just rap. The second one, it was me building this little camera dolly thing out of a shopping cart. So I went to a grocery store, got a shopping cart, broke it down, and then hooked the camera rig thing to it, and so when I'm shooting videos, I could have somebody sit in it and they could be pushed. So I
that's
smooth
tight.
shots.
That's tight.
Yeah, so that's what the second one was. But then I started blowing up even more, and I was like, let me just make them all rap now. So the third one, it was me rapping in the basement again. The fourth one, I was like, let me showcase all my skills and showcase my personality and my humor and everything. So I shot it. That was the one I did in my bedroom where it just looked really animated and over the top, and just showcasing my lyrical ability and just my humor and all that. And then that one blew up even more, took my whole career to another level. And then 5, because everybody was making comments like, man, okay, he can rap, he can spit, he's an MC, he got backpacker rap, and he can be funny, but he don't make no real shit.
So he was like, oh, really?
So I was like, okay, so then I feel like I made the realest song to ever exist on earth, ILL Mind 5, about society and all that, and that's how I've always felt. Those have been my views on society since I was a teenager. So I made that song, and that one took everything to a whole nother level, and then from there I've just been riding the wave and putting out music.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But you took a year off. You took a year off. What made you come back with it?
Oh no, I didn't take a year off. I just kind of I've always put out music every single year. I've just kind of it may have seemed that way because I mean I sometimes I went long periods without releasing music, but never a year. It was always just like 4 or 5 months or something like that. But yeah, there's some.
So the fans can feel like a year.
Yeah, no, it definitely did feel like a year to some fans. But yeah, I've never actually stopped and took a.
Well, I'm talking about with the ILL Mind.
Oh,
series.
the ILL Mind. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad. I didn't know you meant that.
Not from rapping. I know you're still doing your shit,
Okay.
But
Oh, because the way the ILL Minds were working was, I just let life give them to me. I didn't want to force them and be like,
got it.
Let me think of another one. And I always did them on my birthday, July 18th, and that was the time that every single one released on July 18th. But then last year I just didn't. I felt like there was nothing to talk about, so I didn't want to force it, and I didn't want to make anything like over the top, fake or corny, where it's just like, okay, why is he talking about that? Right. So I didn't want to be reaching. So, but
I'll turn that shit to a 7.5 or some shit.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense. We just gonna name that shit 7.5. That's not the real shit. I just it out there for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't ever do that, bro.
No. I'll never.
like this new one, this 8 is hot. Don't do an 8.5.
Yeah, no.
Don't be that guy, bro.
8.5.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, never.
And another thing.
I forgot about this.
And I could usually feel when the ILL Minds are coming because it's usually something going on in my life where I'm like, man, this is like I got a lot to talk about on a specific topic. Yeah, so in January I start feeling it. I was like, okay, I feel like I got.
What's your
something
favorite ILL Mind?
My favorite one will probably be ILL Mind Hopsin 7. When I'm in the desert talking to God. Yeah.
The status now, you were questioning God and everything like that. Now, so what's your religious status now? How do you feel about that as of right now?
It's still in the same spot, the same place as it was in that song. I'm confused, and as I get older, I become wiser, and I start to understand more, and I start to realize that it is very possible for, society to get away with lies. And if they're putting things in our food and teaching us things in school that we don't like so many things going on like they're very capable of of doing things to us and with us not knowing. Absolutely. So I don't and I can't not take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? So
no, we can definitely get killed for having this conversation.
Oh yeah, we could.
Give it the platform, but
so
that question came from Nelson Pena.
At that kid Nelson.
That kid Nelson. He said, "Where does he stand? Where do you stand in your religious beliefs now? Because in ILL Mind 7, you said you were confused."
Yeah. So I'm still confused because I don't know what's a lie and what's not a lie. It's hard to find that out. And, I want to go on a journey one day where I just travel around the world and come up with my own conclusion of what God is. And, I want to see different cultures and see what God is in other, environments and tribes or wherever I end up being on this planet. But I don't want to just take the American perspective and just die with that going, okay, well, Jesus Christ, the Holy Bible, this and that. And, okay, cool. Because, I just want to have my own investigation on God.
It would have been interesting to have him here last week with
D1. With D1, I was thinking that the whole
time.
What?
And I'm glad you said that because I want your opinion on this. Now that you've opened up that line of questioning, like I've been thinking about the same thing myself. Mm-hmm. So, how do you feel about you being like, let's say you belong to whatever church, like Given Church in Panorama City, right? Yeah. So you belong to this church, and you go into this church for religious guidance or spiritual, whatever it is, the energy that you go in there for, right? Yeah. How do you feel how do you take it in consideration if you feel like you're smarter than the person educating you?
I felt like that.
Exactly. Okay.
That's exactly. That means I got to get out of the church. That means I have to get out of there.
That's exactly how I felt. Okay, so I'm okay, cool.
Because I noticed a lot of the people there. I mean, and some of the dudes. I've gone to some churches where the dudes, the people there, they're young, they think like I do, and they're really smart. They've done their investigations. I just haven't done the same investigation that they have done, so I haven't come to the same conclusion they have. But I've been in churches where the pastor's talking. I just feel like it's an old man who's outdated on his knowledge and experience, and he's just going off of the idea of what God is. God is because his parents did it, everybody around him did it, and that's just what it is. And like when I ask a lot of questions in church. I'm that guy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I come off. Like, I mean, people look at me like I'm crazy in the church because I question everything. Because they like, God, he helped me do this and helped me get a better job. I'm like, hold on, I got questions.
Hold on, teacher, hold on.
So God help you or Jesus help you get a better, or help you get a job. So how do people get jobs? What if someone, so you're saying people are not capable of getting jobs without Jesus? Because the earth offers job opportunities regardless. So is Jesus behind every single one of those? I mean, or like I just question stuff like that, like because that's a thing that somebody can do, without any crazy spiritual help, like getting a job, applying for an application, and you getting the call going, hey, you got the job. Yeah. Some people can go, oh my God, hallelujah, hallelujah, like, and I can see, I understand timing. Sometimes things come at the right time. We're like, oh my God, I didn't, like, it's almost like a miracle when things happen at a certain time where it's like, okay, and I've had things like that happen in my life where it's like, man, I feel like somebody is kind of watching over me and made this fall into place. But it's just a lot of questions, man. As a human being, we just question so much.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think, as you said, like, society does get upset when you question certain things. Question, but don't question that. It's
exactly.
Well, we're gonna question. Let's question everything across the board.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's only gonna make everybody better. Man. Another question we got on Twitter was from Cole Hansen, actually at Cole Hansen 31. So what's his number one tip for being successful?
Number one tip for being successful. I mean, being successful just out of music. I always say, you just gotta really be hungry. I run into a lot of people who want success, but they really I can just look at them and I can just tell I don't say they're never going to achieve it, but I can see why they're not achieving it at this moment in time, because I look at the way they don't really want it. They're not doing their homework. You got to take success just like there's college students out right now studying for exams right now. They're going to stay up. They're not going to get any sleep because they're trying to pass this exam tomorrow. And there's some college students out partying who probably who did a little bit of studying, but now that they're out partying, getting drunk or whatever, you have to still put that same energy into it, how that college student is. Whatever you're doing, whether it's rap music, if you're learning how to make beats, learning how to write lyrics, you have to contribute that same time and energy. So if you're at home just kicking it, watching TV and you know, watching Walking Dead and not keeping up with what's going on, you're like that's time cutting into your
craft or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta be on top. You gotta actually live it. Like it. Yeah. You gotta get to the point where where everybody around you when they whatever it is you're trying to do, they think of you as that. So I got to a point where like in my life where I didn't just want to be a rapper. I became a rapper. So everybody who saw me, that's all I was. Every time they saw me, they're like, "Oh, you probably just came from the studio, huh? Yep. You just making the beat, huh? You doing this, doing something with music." Yep. Every step I was taking was rap. It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm doing this." Like I live the life. So some people I see, you know, they're trying to, whether they're trying to do modeling, acting, rapping, drawing, working out, whatever. They're not living it.
When do you feel like that clicked for you though?
We said, when do I feel like it clicked?
Yeah, for you, like, cause I know you went in that transitional phase of just rapping.
When did you go from the homie to Hopsin?
Yeah, it's just I think it's just common sense. You know, there's nothing better than the best, so you might as well like when you try to aim to be the best, I feel like you just can't fail. Like even if you do fail, the failing is still on a pedestal where it's still up there. So it's just a given to me. Like I don't want a regular job. I don't want to go, you know, work at Walmart or McDonald's. I wanted to be successful off of my music, and I wanted people to know me. I had this vision of my life, so I had to live it and breathe it. And I do my homework on everything. So I study the great rappers. I study the rappers who didn't make it. I study every type of rapper. So all the rappers that are on, like if you go on YouTube, look at the rappers who ain't doing nothing, who got 200 views. I'm studying them. How come they only getting 200? And I understand why. Yeah. And I have to understand everything. And I also have to become self-aware to know what I'm capable of myself from on everything across the scale, from to how I should look, how I should dress, how I look, how I talk, how my background is. You know, everything. You got to analyze everything and then just adjust the level so it fits what you're trying to do, and then just attack.
Yeah. Let's go back to the early days real quick, man. How did you get approached by Tamika Wright and the whole Ruthless Records? How did that situation pan out? Yeah. Well, I know how it panned out, but how did it start?
It started. I
was like, what did OJ do?
Right.
I don't know. You got to keep watching.
Right.
Stay tuned. Next week with this.
It started out. I was around like 2004, 2005. I had this manager named China, and she was, you know, trying to shop me around to different people, you know, and it took a 1,000 different times to actually nail something. So, you know, you always hear the typical story where it's like, oh yeah, Dr. Dre gonna be able to hear your music and this and that, and never happens. Right. So I got excited, you know, thousands of times, and nothing came through. So eventually, you know, she introduced me to this guy who, his name was Damon Elliott, and then he introduced me to Tamika Wright. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Tamika, she liked my music, and she was interested in signing me to Ruthless Records. And I was like 20 or 21 at the time, so I didn't know anything about the music industry. I just knew I wanted a record deal.
Put me exactly.
That's all. So and we think record deal, you're not thinking of all the people who, you're not really thinking about the details. Like, man, there's a lot of people signing record companies who don't make it. You just thinking like record deal, $1 million, this and that. Yeah, I made it. I'm gonna be on the radio. I'm gonna be everywhere. This is my time. So I thought it was my time, and you know, I said, cool, I'm down to sign. And you know, I had a little hesitation on signing because, you know, some people kind of told me about Tamika. They're like, you know, this and that happened. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. I was like, so I asked around about. I talked to the people who were in that circle of Tamika and Ruthless Records, and they were like, you know, that was back when, you know, Easy was still around, and she didn't really know the industry too well, but she has a lot of experience now. So I was like, okay, cool. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. So right when I signed, bullshit happening right instantly.
Like, before the heat could even dry.
So you talking about the day after?
I mean, I should have known because the contract took forever. It felt like damn near a year for them to get the contract situated, and then it was just taking forever. I was like, what the hell? And then my mom, she was, because I was telling her, I was like, Mom, I got a record deal. Yeah, and then she was like, oh, you gonna pay this rent? Because she don't give a fuck about no. Yeah, she didn't give a fuck about no record deal.
She live in the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
She don't give a fuck.
I need
about
that
no
record
YouTube
contract money.
Yeah. She didn't care about none of that. So she was like, well, where's the money at? You say you got this record deal, and months and months and months went by, and I didn't have no money. And I was and I was like, man, it was a weird feeling of like, damn, I have a record deal. They agreed, but they just having
you had it like, do I got a contract?
Yeah, and it was weird. It was so weird. And it was even weirder because the day that she told me she was gonna sign me, I called all my homies like, yo, I did it. I called everybody, and everybody was like, no way you did it. And then 8 months later, no money, no nothing.
And it was
then,
worse
like,
about that because people hit you. Hey man, what happened?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
coming. Hold on, just
so yeah. And then and then the everything finally came around, and I got the money. I got 50,000 once the contract was signed, then 50,000 after I turned the album in. So which is cool for me at the time. Right. But I thought, I was like, man, I just I got this 100,000 for signing. This is just a start. I ain't even tapped in anything. I'm about to make millions in like 2 months. Never made any money again on that company at all. And then I start to just realize the reality of the music industry and how things were. And then years and years went by. They weren't doing anything with me, and I went broke again. I went completely broke, like extremely broke. Like on that, I got $5 for the week. I'm gonna just eat I'm gonna go buy a large pack of cup of noodles and just eat that.
Out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Map it out $5 for the week is
like,
man.
So on Monday we got this dollar.
yeah.
Tuesday.
That's
Saturday
really,
and Sunday.
Well, actually, if you're keeping it real, you was rich because you ate cup of noodle. Yeah. I ate ramen. You know what I'm saying? Cup of noodle had to be about 25 cents a cup. Ramen was 10 cents a pack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 12 cents.
That's true.
Anyway.
So what do you feel like the biggest lesson that you took away from that experience after everything was said and done?
The thing that I took away from that was I had the power. I had everything I needed the whole time without them. So I was what I thought they were going to be for me. I was that already, but I was doubting myself and giving them the power. So, I was already directing videos, editing. I knew how to do all that. I knew how to make beats, knew how to produce. I knew about, just marketing online and all that just from my own homework that I've done in the past. But I thought that they knew because they were the record company, like the experts who knew exactly how to make it happen. But they didn't know. They didn't know anything about the internet. So I started to realize that, and when I put stuff out on my own while I was still signed with them, I realized like, man, my stuff that I'm doing outside of them is getting more love than the stuff I was doing with them. And I realized they weren't doing nothing when I dropped an album. And I think it was like the first month, and it's only sold like 42 copies. Oh, wow. And that's horrible. That's horrible. 42 copies is bad. And I think like 5 or 6 of those were me and my mom buying.
So, you got your copy right. Yeah, I bought 3, baby.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So I realized I had the power. I was everything I needed the whole time, and I doubted myself and gave someone else the power to kind of rule my career, and that didn't end too well. So, ever since then, I've just been about doing things on my own, and and my vision is golden to my situation.
Now, did that make you go hard, like at that point, go harder on social media, or were you already kind of introduced to social media, really going hard at that point?
I wasn't going. MySpace was big at the time, so Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, they weren't really that popping. I mean, they were around, but they weren't like they were now. Right. So, and this is around 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. But then I start to, I started my own company called Funk Volume.
Absolutely.
And then that's when I just started promoting Funk Volume and stopped doing Ruthless Records, and I was trying to figure out a way to get out of Ruthless, so I got an attorney to get me out of the situation, and I ended up getting out of that contract in 2010.
How in the hell did you get an attorney with the noodle with
a
$5
budget? Yeah, I'm about to say with a $5 budget.
Because I had somebody who believed in my vision,
there you go.
And they saw a bigger picture.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
And then so I put out an album right after I got off of Ruthless Records, and start taking advantage of the internet world and putting out a whole bunch of YouTube videos, killing it, interacting with fans, and then started my own.
You hit the reset button.
Yeah, reset button.
Started all over again.
Yep.
So when you were with Ruthless, did they have control over your YouTube?
I had no YouTube.
Oh, so
I had one video, a song called "Pans in the Kitchen." That was the only.
He's like, yeah, take that shit.
I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah.
So they had control of your output, basically.
Yeah, they were doing it through their outlets.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have a YouTube channel when I was with them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
So everything that you did, as far as like virally or digitally, that was all
me. Yeah, and it didn't happen until after Ruthless.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep. So literally right when I got off the label, I blew up.
Where do you even have the knowledge to do that? Because like if you people are when they're with a label, typically, you know, because they do everything, it handicaps the artist.
Yeah,
because then it doesn't allow you to do stuff as you would.
Exactly.
So when you hit the reset button and you eating noodles and you got your attorney, you get off. Like, how do you be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just start making videos. Like, where do you get the idea from?
Well, I broke it down. It's like a science. It's really simple. So, music. It doesn't matter what. Like, okay, so music is promoted to normal people like us outside in the real world, and we just want to hear good music. We don't really care about what record company it's tied to at the end of the day.
That's true.
It's just, and if you like music, you're gonna like it. Like, you could find somebody on YouTube, if that person has 200 views, but that song changes your life in a way, you're gonna fuck with that artist for a long time probably. And it doesn't matter who they're signed to or anything. So I understood that fans are where the power is. Fans are the reason everybody is where they are in the music industry, from Dr. Dre to P. Diddy, Eminem, 50 Cent, whoever. Fans are the reason that happened. And so I was like, okay, the internet is like a portal straight to the fans, like directly to them, meaning that I don't have to go through Interscope or Warner Brothers, whatever. Like, I can just, if I make music on YouTube through that platform and they hear my music and I make the music good enough to where people are going to want to spread the word about my music and my name, if I win them over, that's where the money is, that's where the power is, that's where everything is. So why do I need anybody else? And it's you know, the concept is very easy to understand. You just go directly to the fans, and that's what I did. So and labels like to make it seem all complicated, like this and that. It's like, nah, fans are right there. Let me just put fans are right there. I'll make a PayPal account. They go buy my album right off here, and I'm gonna get my money right then. And it's really as simple as that.
Right then and there.
Just right then and there.
I still think there's a little bit of a special skill with somebody being as transparent as yourself, or just people who are as successful. Because you're right, somebody can just start up a PayPal account, and not get them views, and not get it just doesn't translate.
Now that's. The art has to come first. You got to be good at what you do.
There we go.
So that's where it starts above anything. Before you even step out the house trying to shop it to anybody, show anybody, you got to make sure you're on point with the music, because or else it ain't gonna work. So I mean, and I felt my music was at a good enough point to where people were gonna like it and spread the name. So I started putting it out, and the fans started fucking with it. And then once I got off Ruthless, I put an album out. I just kept refreshing PayPal, so I'll go from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 within like hours. I was like, man.
Are you serious?
And I was literally from $5 to noodles to refreshing 1,000, 2,000. I was like, no way. Ruthless has been keeping this for me the whole time. And from that point, I never stopped. Like, that's when I started. Like, it was like the Matrix. I was like Neo. I was like, oh my God, this is I saw it all so clearly.
Wow.
And then I was like, man, okay, so. You know, with the company that I had at the time, Funk Volume, we had to figure out a way to start touring, because we didn't know how to tour at all. So we realized, you know, fans, there's fans in cities that wanted to, you know, see me and wanted me to, you know, do concerts out there. So we made a post saying, yo, I got this tour coming up. If you guys want me to hit your city, make sure you tell the promoter to contact this email. So promoters would just reach out and then set the tour up that way. And you know, when you do your first tours, they're always sketchy. So you got some promoters bailing out on you where they don't want to pay your money, and you know they didn't promote the show too well. But it's part of the process, though. You know, you have to go through that. So after the first run, you know, there was a lot of shaky parts, but overall it's pretty successful. And then we got the hang of touring and started doing more shows, and then became a professional. Do
you remember your first paid show?
Yeah.
How much did you get for your first?
It was in Detroit. Flew me out there.
Your first paid show ever.
First paid show, $500.
Wow.
I was excited.
That's crazy.
I was
your first paid show, $500.
Flew me out. I stayed at this dude's apartment.
Yeah. Airbnb.
Yeah. Stayed at this guy's apartment right on his couch, and he picked me up from the hotel, and it was Detroit. It was dope. I felt.
That's like, crazy.
Because I ain't never.
People don't get $500 for their first show.
Yeah. So it was $500, and
you lucky you get 2 drinks.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that when I started DJing.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. So it was dope, and from there on, I just kept getting shows booked left and right, and now I have a booking agent who does it all for me. So
LL Cool J tweeted that he was retiring from rap, then tweeted a few minutes later that he is making a comeback.
Wait, right? A few minutes later.
A few minutes later.
What the fuck type of shit is that?
Literally.
You ain't gonna delete tweet that?
No.
Come on, man.
A few minutes later.
A few minutes. Like he tweeted that. Then a few minutes later came back and was like, you know what? Today is the day that I'm coming out of retirement and I'm about to massacre the whole industry.
So he went in the retirement for 3 minutes and then came
out of it.
What type of publicity stunt is that's not even
Bruh.
I don't
listen, man.
Yeah, it was weird.
Did the tweet even surface that?
Bro. LL, stop it, dog. Just knock it off.
You not fucking with it?
I don't like that, what he did. Like, he's beyond that. It's LL fucking Cool J.
Right.
Yeah,
like, you're
I'm trying to figure out the
coolest-
timestamp between the
don't
tweets.
do
Hold
shit.
on.
Don't do shit I expect Lil Mama to do.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That's like Jay doing some shit like that Young Thug would do. Like on that's like Jay-Z on his Instagram. Bitch ass, fuck ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, bro? You fucking Jay-Z.
You know better than that. You just slap his hand. Come on, man.
It's just like, come on, dog.
Come on, how do we
I can't.
Wait, so
Whatever.
he say dropping. What did he say he's doing?
He's going to massacre the industry. That's what he said.
So
and then he gave some bars
you,
to
Hopsin,
Dr. Dre.
he on your head.
He gave some bars to Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre asked for a drop. I meant to bring this out but I forgot. Dr. Dre asked for a drop, and then he spit some bars, and the bars was like so 1980. It was like, come on. He said something about coming back like
I know
fish
how it went.
batter.
It went like this.
What?
Yo, I'm L. You going to hell. When I step in, better
It was
ring that
just
bell.
like that.
Album don't sell. So, oh well. When I do this shit, please don't tell. I'm back. LL Cool. Dropped out of school, but I'm not no fool. I'm rude. Yes, I'm back. Killing this shit with the brand new rap. Yeah. You know my name.
That's exactly how it
That's
sounded.
exactly what that shit sound like. Shout out to Hopsin. So Hopsin versus LL Cool J. Who comes out on top?
Oh.
Oh, of course me, man.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Would you give him a whole ill mind or just like the first two?
But he's a legend, so you got to take it easy on him.
No.
Nah.
No, I mean, no.
He said no.
War is war.
Let me ask you this real
War is war.
quick.
If you in a war, you go for the headshot, period.
Oh, you got you pulled it up.
Hold on.
I found it. Go ahead. Keep going.
Let me ask you a question. Just while we on the topic, is there anybody that would never get the bars? Like, no matter what they did.
Off limits.
Who's off limits to Hopsin?
Off limits?
Completely off limits no matter what.
Damn,
No
that's a good
matter
one.
what. Oh, that was a
My
good one.
my mom.
Your mom would never get the bars no matter what she did.
No, but as far as rappers, no.
Yeah,
but
rappers.
Family, no. Rappers that would. I mean,
You like even if they gave you a few bars, they gave you a whole ill mind of insert rapper, and they didn't dropped it. They could never. You still, I'm good.
because like off of respect,
or whatever.
I probably Damn, I don't know. See, I would say Eminem, but it depends on how bad he served me.
That's crazy.
If he went in,
because there's like
Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, no. If it was like that, because I'll feel humiliated. I wouldn't be able to live in my own skin because I know I'd be so uncomfortable knowing that I did not try to strike back. It would, but at the same time, like I respect him, but he humiliated me. Like I have to defend. I have to. You have to do something. So
You gotta
but it depends though. But it also depends. Like there's a lot of rappers that I really, really, really respect, but I don't fear lyrically. But it doesn't mean I don't respect them and like the music that they make. So there are rappers where if they diss me and all that, I wouldn't be like there's somebody that I wouldn't want to retaliate back on. Just
but
because.
LL Cool J, he can get the bars.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, no. It depends on what led up to it as well.
You
You
should
know
be
what
a
I'm
wide receiver as good as you backpedal. You be
saying?
like,
No. Okay, no. Okay, this is what it is. Here. This is what it is. Anybody, like I fear no man lyrically. Like there's nobody that I fear lyrically. There are people that I do respect, but it depends on the lead up to the situation. So say if LL heard this, he's like, "Yo, I heard you trying to mimic my shit.
Right.
It's on." And then it was all,
It's on.
like yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
he can get the bars.
So I mean, it depends on what he did though, what he did and what he said. But then I would probably just do it not because I'm like scared of his lyrics. It just be like, let's play the rap game. Let's play the game. Let's play the publicity game. Let's do it. Yeah. But but if it was on the Eminem level, that's not like that's different. That's like you're defending your whole fucking career, your life. Like, this is you can't go outside no more. So you got to really like think about.
Own in.
Yeah. So it's different.
Right.
But
Right now, man.
Yeah.
How does it feel now, Hopsin, to hear that, obviously weeks later, man, now that everything's out, obviously some time after you created that, the word is out there, you know what I'm saying? There's no more funk volume, something that you were instrumental as far as creating and putting out there. And now the whole situation is what it is right now, and listening to the song now as it's playing. What are your thoughts as this is playing, bro?
I mean, I think it's nothing but greatness. That's all I was aiming for, and that's all I proved with that, and I'm gonna continue to prove that. Things are good right now. It's sad that Funk Volume had to end, but I just couldn't be a part of something that was such a virus to my career and my life and my financial situation as well. So, but things are way better. Like things are moving so smooth, and everything's perfect, to be honest.
I think that, like, when I first peeped it, I was actually I shouldn't be saying this shit. I actually watched this shit on the freeway. It was that important to me. Like, I was, because I heard about it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I had heard like a clip or something on like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So I pulled it up, and I'm watching this shit on the 105.
Yeah.
Like, while I'm driving, I think I'm going back to the radio station or whatever, and I'm tripping like, this shit is like the dopest, most honest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Very transparent.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Thank
completely
you.
like, you have no questions.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Even we want to talk about it, like, there's really no question. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to ask you? You know what I'm saying? It's really all, you said everything you need to say, and I think that's probably, I mean, I know that everybody has a favorite. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? As far as
I think I won a lot of people over with that, because one of my, I don't want to say it's an issue, but I've never catered to the nigga crowd too much.
Trap music.
Yeah. Like, I've always been on some
sound.
skateboarder type rap shit, and and it showed. It's no secret. You could hear a lot of my past stuff, and people could hear that I was dope, but a lot of the street crowd didn't really fuck with it too much. But this is kind of a record that kind of won them over.
Absolutely.
But I think it just kind of it didn't win them over. But I think they're like, okay, I this is the first thing that I kind of like of this dude. So let's see what else he does. But because I've done everything you could do, like being the backpacker MC, being that weird rapper. You know what I'm saying? Now I just want to expand and do other things now. So I want to. I kind of been stuck in the early 2000s, with my style, the way I was dressed and everything. So I just kind of want to enhance everything and, just have more fun with it. I don't want to be against that mainstream bounce feel, you know what I'm saying? Because it's fun to go to clubs. And I'm not saying I want to make club music about strippers and shit like that, but just the beats, I just became aware, like, I have
sonically,
to. I have to enhance my sound. Mm-hmm. So, and that's just step one in me doing that. And I just plan on doing that more often. And just enhancing everything to take me to that next level.
Now you've pretty much said everything that you had to say. I peeped at the Hard Knock TV interview, which I think was really dope. Shout out to Nick, man. I mean, I think you've said pretty much everything that needed to be said at that point in time. The only thing that I had a question about was, going through the situation with Ruthless, you know what I'm saying, and already kind of experiencing that turmoil and that, like, just going through that. How do you not see that type of situation pop up again, or like when the red flags are there, like immediately be like, okay, no, I've seen this from jump. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
The Funk Volume situation was different. It was a different type of red flag.
Okay.
So Ruthless was just they didn't know anything about music.
Some nigga shit, basically.
Yeah. They didn't know how to promote me. And they weren't stealing money from me because there was no money being made. They just weren't promoting me. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and it was just a waste of time. The Funk Volume situation was just this man capitalizing off of me in such a way that was taken from me, and he's taking more than what he deserved, and I didn't like it, and it wasn't making sense. And when I would bring it up to him, he would just kind of steer away from it or just not have the answers, and kind of get upset and emotional about it. When business is just business, it should just be like, okay, you think this? Let me show you. This is why this is this way. Right. And when someone just like calling names, getting mad over it, that's a red flag. So I just had to remove myself. But yeah, it was a different type of red flag situation than that. That's why I wasn't able to stop it when it started.
Got you. Now another line obviously in it, you said, plus I need something to get my buzz up. So a lot of people can kind of misconstrue that and think like, okay, was this another publicity stunt? Is this something that Hopsin's doing that, to get the awareness back up or whatever? How do you respond to that?
I mean, it's just like I haven't put out albums. I mean, the last time I put out was July or something like that, I think. So I haven't really put out any music videos in a while, and I needed some. I didn't plan on using that, but I was already writing the song, and I was like, fuck it. I need some hype. I need some hype anyway. So I just threw that line in there. Mm-hmm. So it was more of a jab at him to just like. Because he knew it was coming to the point where everybody on the label needed a new introduction into 2016.
Yeah,
and it's like, fuck it, you fucked me over, I'm gonna smash you. Fuck it, I needed something to get my buzz up anyway, so I might as well use you in this situation as a stepping stone. So that's that, and it's just like floss numb. Like plus I needed something you know, because he knows we talked about all that shit. Like now he is that. He is that something to get my buzz up. Right. So, but the whole song wasn't made out of like, I need somebody to attack. Like that was just a line that just rhymed with.
And I'm glad you clarified that because a lot of people will hear that and think, oh man, this is just probably another publicity stunt. I've heard you on records say like, damn, like now I'm the kid who cries wolf. Like now I don't want people to think that this isn't real. It's reality. Like no, this shit is done with. Like we're like you said before, we're pressing the reset button. Mm-hmm. This is something new for Hopsin, and I think it's dope. I think it's cool that. You're at a point right now where you understand that okay, the past is the past. Let's start fresh. This is what I'm doing right now, and not harbor on the bullshit back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you wrote that, like when you wrote ILL Mind 8, where were you at? Like, what were you doing? Like,
I was mad.
No, I understand that, but I want to know physically where were you at?
He gets off of shit like that. He wants to know like, were you upstairs, nigga?
I was in my house.
On the toilet. No, I'm just playing.
I was in my house. Every morning I would have a conversation with my lawyer just to kind of update me with the situation of what's going on with the splits of the record company. And it was taking so long. It went through January, February, and I don't like waiting like that. Like I need to put music out. I need my career to keep going. I can't have it stop. And for it to be something so simple is us just coming to an agreement and him just stalling and wanting to do these extra things that were just ridiculous. I'm just getting so mad. And the fact that he was still Funk Volume ended, but he's still promoting Dizzy Wright on all the Funk Volume platforms, which are low key my platforms because those they were built off my fan base, and he's still promoting them. And I'm like, this is a slap in the face to me because I don't even have access to these Instagram pages or these Facebook pages, and he's still doing that. I'm just getting heated. I'm like, this dude. Then when you go to the Funk Volume website, it's all shut down, but it says to go enter Dizzy Wright's website, go here. I'm like, okay, I'm getting mad. Yeah. I'm beyond rap. I'm on some. I turned to a gangster at home. I'm not even a gangster. I turned to I'm like on some like I'm.
As soon as I see,
like, cause I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Yeah. Like, is he really doing this shit? So I'm just getting mad, like beyond. And I keep telling my lawyer, like, look, we need to do something, like,
or before I do something.
Yeah, I was gonna take it there. I was gonna take it there. Like that's where my mind was going. We all know what there means. That's where my mind was going, and so I just kept writing. I just kept venting through this song as the lawyer would give me new information about the bullshit that's going on. I just kept venting through the song, and I just kept adding new lines. Like every day, every time something went on, and and I got to a boiling point where I was like, look. I called lawyers. I was like, I don't give a fuck no more. Like, I don't care about all that business shit. I understand it. I don't care. I do not care. I'm releasing this, and I'm putting it out on the 8th. I shot the video already. I'm just doing it, and I said, what are all the consequences? They said, okay, this is what could potentially happen. I said, I don't give a fuck. We doing it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And and I put it out, and things have been good. So I'm I don't know how things are gonna be in the future, but. It's good right now.
That's all you can worry about, just the present. Man.
Yeah.
We got a question
Go ahead.
From Spirit in Color. They said, do you plan on featuring people from Funk Volume on any songs coming up? Like Swizz, JB, Dizzy?
There's no Funk Volume no
more.
There is
no Funk. Yeah, Funk Volume is dead, but the artists who own it, I mean, to be honest, I'm still cool with Jarren Benton, but there's some tension in the air, man. Because everybody's team Dame, like strong, and he has them all blinded over there. So it's some tension there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was just about to say because I mean Dame released his statement as far as his side of the story. I'm not sure if you guys see.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Okay, so he pretty much responded to everything that was in the song, and admitted his role in playing into saying that you didn't work hard enough. You see, I probably shouldn't have said that, and that was the main trigger to everything that kind of went down. But what is your response to that? Him admitting to it, but still at that point saying, okay, I tried to reach out to
you know what I'll say to that? I say, shut up with that fucking bullshit. Tell everybody the reason why Dizzy Wright, Jarren Benton, DJ Hopper weren't getting paid for those meet and greets that we did every single day, 100 people every fucking day for 60-some days. How come he got paid from the meet and greets, but the artist didn't get paid? Wow. Meet and greets. This guy tried to bank $50,000 off the tour from meet and greets that we were doing. He wasn't there on the meet and greets. The artists were doing meet and greets. We're not getting paid from the meet and greets. Right. How do you justify that?
See, my perception of it was when you explained it on Hard Knock, you said, you got this, they got this, you got this, Dizzy got this, Jarren got this, and he, Swiss, and everybody got their portions. Yeah. So it made it seem like, okay, maybe the percentages were off, but everybody still got paid. So you're saying that they weren't getting paid at these meet and greets.
And that's something I left out of the Hard. I don't think I mentioned that in the Hard Knock interview. Nobody got paid on the meet and greets. They only I was getting paid. They were not getting a percentage of the meet and greets. Dame was getting a percentage, and the label was getting a percentage. They were not. And the fucked up thing about it all is everybody was all ready to ride on Dame when we were on tour. Like, man, what the fuck? They doing this? Man, I ain't doing these meet and greets. Everybody's getting mad. Now all of a sudden, everybody's just playing the cool. Like, oh, I don't want to hurt Dame's feelings. I don't want to fuck that shit. Like, let's keep it real. Let's be completely honest. Like, everybody was uncomfortable and nobody's saying shit. Now I look like the crazy one where it's like now I'm made, but they were not getting a goddamn penny from the meet and greets. Not 1 cent from the meet and greets. Dame Ritter was taking the fucking money. I got a percentage from the meet and greets, and they were complaining about it. They were like, why are we out here if we ain't even making $1 off the meet and greets? At least $1, $2. That's what they say. At least $2 because we're meeting 100 people every single day.
Now, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So, what do you think is? And you can't speak for these people. Let's be perfectly clear for that. But it just your relationships when you spent years with these guys. So, what do you think is in the mind of Dizzy Wright right now when he's responding and taking up for Dame and saying, "Well, nah, I didn't have those experiences, and I'm still cool. Then I still want him to manage me and this and that." But he's dealing with situations like that.
I'm gonna say this is the situation with Dizzy Wright. I'm gonna use this example with McDonald's. Okay, so a McDonald's coworker, someone who works at the cashier at McDonald's, they can sell the food and everything. Now, if someone came up to McDonald's and they went to that person at the register saying, "Man, McDonald's they put poison in the French fries and the burgers," that cashier ain't gonna really know about all that. They'll be like, "Look, I just work here. I just get my paycheck and leave." But if they try to defend the boss, going, "Nah, man, it gets delivered here, and we cook it. We don't do nothing." It's like, nah, the back end, like you don't have access to. They're putting poison in the shit. Yeah. Dizzy's like the cashier where he don't get to see what's happening at the corporation where the French fries and the burgers are actually made and developed and where the meat is being processed and all that. He just sees the finished product of it and then he just gets paid his money. He has no access.
Right, but if he shows up 2 or 3 days, he ain't getting paid. Like
he was getting paid. Everybody was getting paid.
Gotcha,
so they got their their daily rate for performing. Okay. But there was just the percentage.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know anything about this. But for meet and greets, is it typical for artists to get paid for those?
That's what. Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's for the art. That's for the artist.
That's what I mean. Like, so if he's not getting paid for these meet and greets, then wouldn't it raise a red flag on his end and be like, okay, well, yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, he's maybe doing good on this end, but shit, I ain't getting paid on this side. Like.
I would say this: we're not all meant to be great businessmen. Some of us are. There's a difference between the Donald Trumps and the employees at McDonald's.
Gotcha.
So
bad example. Don't use Donald Trump right now, please.
Yeah. No, okay.
Somebody. Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, yeah. So, but they because Dame presented it so comfortable when you present things with a smile, like, here, man, this is what you're gonna get paid. Here's your money, this and that. Everything's cool. So that's why everybody's cool. But they don't know what's going on in the back end. So when they find out how much money we're making on the tour and all that, and I was telling them like, yo, this is the way it is. They were all uncomfortable with it, all completely uncomfortable with it, and they're still rolling with the guy. Yeah. They're still rolling with the guy. That's what's like. I don't get it. And they don't even know but they don't understand everything. They don't even know everything they did to me. I have not even told. I can't even tell the real deep cutting stuff about the situation because
legal shit.
No, it's not. I just don't want to. It's just more fucked up than what I'm saying. It's just more fucked up and He knows what he knows what he's doing.
You know what the thing is? You know, a lot of this situation to me is reminiscent. I mean, with the Straight Outta Compton and Cube League.
Yeah.
And it's just like I see this over and over and over again, man, where it'll be one person that, like you said, everybody would be like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. And then everybody, well, they signed the paperwork. You the only one that's tripping.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel?
That's what they. That's what.
Did it make you feel crazy or?
That's what's going on right now. Because I know everybody's looking at me like everybody else is cool. How come you the only one? So it's either gonna come down to this. It's gonna come down to in the long run, either I'm the crazy one and they're all genius for staying around Dame, or they are all dumb fucks and I was the genius for getting away from him. And I guarantee it's the second one.
Wow.
Guarantee, and no disrespect to him, but I know how they feel about me. It's no secret. I hear their tone in what they post about online. I know that they want to put the blame on me. They think I ruined Funk Volume, but they have no idea what the fuck was going on. Period.
Right.
Period. They cannot voice. They are not even allowed to voice their opinion because they don't know shit. So when they're online or whoever said anything, there's nothing they don't know. Period. They had no access to the information that I have access to.
So at this point, is it more or less like, okay, look, I'm not gonna even reach out to him. I mean, if you want to reach out to me,
I've reached out to everybody.
Really?
I've reached out to everybody. I told him it was all love.
That's something
but
that nobody has talked about.
No,
Right.
I've reached out. I told him, yo, you can come over here because I got all the money.
Well, no,
Dame
they
has no.
I think
They have.
did
There's
mention-
nothing.
I think they mentioned that. They mentioned the fact that you reached out to him. If you wanted them to come to Undercover Prodigy, it was an open.
Yeah, it's open, but yeah, man. But the vibes that's flowing around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know, I'm just keeping it real now. You know, there's some type of tension in the air. So I ain't fucking with nobody who's riding with Team Dame right now. Period. So that's just how it is.
Is there anything at this point that could? I mean, you can't take those things back. I understand that, but is there anything that can possibly smooth things over at this point? In your head, what would make things okay between you and Dame at this point, knowing everything, given everything that's going on?
Nothing.
What would he have to do?
He still ain't gave me my albums back. I still don't have my albums. I still haven't made no money off of any music except ILL Mind 8 this year. And thank God the fucking song is doing amazing because you know I'm banking off of it. But
So
yeah.
it would start with there, just giving the music back.
I mean I don't want to be his friend at this point. The fact that he was doing what he was doing and I really don't give a fuck about the guy. He can leave the earth. I give no fucks. Wow. It's like I don't even care about the guy.
But is that puts you in a weird position with somebody like Swizz, who you guys have that type of relationship? You know, obviously that being his family. Like,
yeah.
How does that work between you and him now? Like, because
it's weird. Like I said, there's tension. It's very strange. Right. It's very, very strange. As you know, since that disc came out, I haven't really talked to nobody, and but I know how they feel, and it is what it is. You know, so good luck with their careers being on level -1, mine's on 10. So it's do what you do over there. Yeah. They're caught in their emotions. Yeah. That's what Dame puts up. He promotes that emotional energy where it's like, hey, let's all Funk Volume, let's hold hands, let's join together. We're not making any moves, but we're skipping in the park. Funk Volume Fitness, let's do this. I'm like, yo, I'm a rapper. Yeah. I'm only here to go beast mode, and I'm only here to just be successful and get my name out there. And I'm not trying to burn bridges with relationships that I have, but if there's something wrong going on, I'm not trying to hold Dame's hand and be like, look, let's just work it out. Like he screwed me over, and there's a difference between screwing somebody over with $5,000 and then screwing somebody over when you making millions. Right. So the reason these dudes ain't like they're not upset like I am because they ain't making the money that I'm making. They're making nowhere near the money that I'm making. So if they're not mad because if Dame took an extra $2,000 from them, big whoop-de fucking dude. Right. Wow, you don't even notice it. Yeah. Have the dude take $500,000 from you. Yeah. You ready to kill somebody?
You got a problem.
You got a huge problem. Yeah. This is why they don't see what they're not even allowed to voice their opinion, to be honest. They just need to stay quiet.
Well, I definitely want to address that because a lot of the questions that came in, I mean, obviously aside from what's going on, and we'll talk about that, what's up, what's next for Hopsin, it was, does he plan to still collaborate with, the former Funk Volume members, Dizzy, Jarrons. I keep calling this fucking Jarren.
Jarren.
I keep calling this nigga Jarren like he an old school pimp and shit.
Jarren.
I always say that nigga Jarren. I got a homie named Jarren, so I always think of that. But, the folks from Funk Volume, that's a lot of the majority of the questions are like, yo, is he going to collaborate with them if they reach out, or what's the situation with him? So I mean, we got it right now though.
Like I said, I don't. Jarren is the only one that I'm cool with. like I'm still. I mean, as far as I know, I'm cool with everybody, but I know me and Jarren, we have a relationship, like a cool relationship that's not gonna be broken. But the other dudes, you know, they don't call, they don't really keep in touch, and.
But do you feel like you're doing the same thing as far as reaching out to them, or how
no? Because I've been reaching out to them. The thing is, I try to stay on top, but it's me only. It's only like me trying. So I just
same with Dame or no?
I don't reach out to Dame. Fuck
gotcha.
Dame.
Okay,
he's done. He's a non-factor in my life.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I can just tell when I'm unwanted. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just do my own thing and. You know, I mean, I don't really need them, and I wish them the best of luck. But I'm just gonna do my own thing now. I'm done reaching out. If they want to reach out to me, they can do whatever. But you know, there's definitely tension in the air. I can't. I'm not cool with Dame. I dislike the man so much to where if they roll with him, they become him to me.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. You know, when you rolling with the enemy, you're low key becoming the enemy. So, yeah.
So on last question, on what level is it though? You know what I mean? Because like there's that 50 level where it's like, yo, anybody collaborate
with Murder Inc.
With Murder, like, is it on that tip where it's like, yo, anybody collaborating when anybody's doing business, I ain't fucking with you? Or is it like, look, I understand you got to handle your business, you got to eat, you got to do what you got to do, and I get it. Like, handle your business, but I just don't fuck with the dude.
Right.
It's I'm not interested in working with nobody who's affiliated with Dame. That's just how it is. I don't want to. Because I, like I said, I strongly dislike him. I dislike the way he goes about business. Mm-hmm. So I don't care to work with anybody. I'm not going to work with anybody. Anybody who even is in his loop. The fucked up part about it is everybody damn near got fired over. They got laid off or whatever it is. Nobody's eating over there no more on Dame's side.
Which was one of the things he was trying to avoid prior to that.
Yeah, nobody's eating because it's like it's almost. Like when a parent when the child does something, the parent's like, motherfucker, I brought you in this world, I take you out.
Right.
That's how I feel about the whole phone volume thing. Like, motherfucker, I built this shit, I take it all back, and that's exactly what happened.
I'm putting cases on all you.
And now you fucked it up. Ain't nobody eating but me now.
Damn, Hopsin.
Back at it
with
again.
This Undercover Prodigy shit, huh? Now that does give me to a question, man. Shouts out on this Dating Hip Hop, man. They posted that you were in here and got some questions, man. And one of the questions is, are you gonna sign other artists to Undercover Prodigy label, or will you just be you? And this is their quotations, by your lonesome.
No, I'm gonna sign other people for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe sometime next year. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be looking. I'm always looking. I just gotta get my shit right first. You know, I don't want to bring people on, and I just gotta set the foundation right, and then I'll bring somebody else in. And the cool thing is, I mean, I know how to create. I know how to do everything.
Yeah. So, but is that a gift or a curse? Like, of course, you know how to do everything, but when is that fine level of like spreading yourself thin too? Because you can't do everything. You can do everything, but you can't do everything.
Not me. Not so. I know what needs to be done. So not me. I don't mean me personally wearing all the hat. Yeah. So I don't plan on producing and doing all the videos for everybody. But I see the vision. I understand, how to create a marketing plan for an artist to blow up at least, to get to the level that I'm at right now. Okay. I understand everything that it takes to do that, and I can develop them and help them in whatever areas they need, and I know what type of people to bring in to assist with that. Mm-hmm. So it won't just be me doing everything. So yeah, I know exactly how to do it. Within a year's time, give it 2 years. Gotcha. Undercover Prodigy would definitely be is bigger, if not bigger than Funk Volume was.
Now, what are you looking for in terms of artists, in terms of people that can help push this brand and go, like you said, get bigger than Funk Volume at this point?
It's just about, like, I have to operate like a major label now, because the thing where Funk Volume went wrong was we tried to attach ourselves to major labels to do stuff for us, but let's just hire the same people that major labels are hiring, because this is what Undercover Prodigy is going to do. I have the money to get the same resources that major labels have, so whatever it is, I can just hire all these different resources for my own label and operate like a major label and just become my own major label for it. And then when other artists come on, I'll just have everything. So if they need, whether it be a stylist or a producer, or need someone to help them learn how to talk in interviews, or show them how to interact with fans, or coming up with marketing strategies to promote things. Just all these different things. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just need to have Undercover Prodigy operate like a major label, and to get that type of success. Now, this is me. I'm definitely gonna be the test dummy to try all this stuff.
Works,
yeah.
Right?
I don't want to bring artists into
Come
something.
On, MC, whoop the whoop. We gonna put you
yeah.
through the runners. Nah. Let me do this shit first and let it work on me. Go ahead.
One more question.
Well, hold on. Wait. Yo, the mic's not on. There we go.
That's good.
Yeah.
From the homegirl Roz, she said, because you're speaking on everything that you know, your knowledge, she said, with everything that you've learned over the years, the good, the bad, from the label side, mastering social media, the viral shit, would you consider doing anything outside of music, like writing a do-it-yourself book, or for indie artists, or instructional Q&A live streams, chat, stuff like that?
Yeah, I plan on doing like, I want to do like public speakings at like schools and colleges one day, just about music and just success one day, to let people know, the power that we have as individuals, and just the power of the mind when you just use it and really put it to work, and just doing your homework or whatever it is that you want to do, doing your own self-given homework to just become successful. But I don't really, I'm not interested in writing a book. I might do it, if I team up with somebody who wants to help me execute that vision, but yeah, speaking in front of crowds is what I really, really want to do, because I feel like I know how to tap into these youngsters' minds.
You think you would do that better than music? Like, if you had a choice, would you do that over music?
No, hell no. I'm a rap. Yeah, I'm an MC. I gotta be over that, spit over that beat.
All right, so
Yo.
go ahead.
I know it was a parody, but I had to ask you, what are you gonna do? Another Hash Brown song? Because that shit was hilarious.
Hash Brown. Everybody loves Hash Brown. Hash Brown is
Hash Brown back. Hash Brown back.
I might do one maybe just like once a year or something.
You should. That
be,
shit was hilarious.
Yeah. So I've been thinking. I've thought about the idea of just making Hash Brown his own, a whole completely different rapper, and just making a career off that, and still being Hopsin, but just to be funny. But I don't know. I don't want to. That's gonna take a lot of energy. I mean, well, it won't take a lot of energy because the songs take 10 minutes to make.
Exactly.
But I don't know. We'll see. It's just it's not a priority.
Okay.
All right, so I got two more questions. You've been very gracious with your time. We appreciate this shit.
No problem.
One thing that I did see in the interview that you said, how you produce all of your music, and you said one thing is like, yo, I have to make sure that once that one song blows, I'm the one responsible for making that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To that, whether it's a whole album or just a single, whatever the case may be. Given the circumstance, hypothetically speaking, if you had to either go with a different producer to reach that level of success, that major look, or dead your career today, which option would you go with?
I would go with the producer to get
go with somebody. Okay. So I just want to see what level of compromise
because I'm willing to, now I'm different now, so okay. I have a different outlook on everything. But yeah, I'm willing to work with other producers. I've been working with other producers now. So yeah, the thing is now, but if I'm with another producer, if he's doing something that I don't know how to do, I'm gonna say, how'd you do that?
You learn that shit.
Because I would hate to make 10 hit songs with that producer and have them leave
and to be gone.
And then I'm like, damn, I don't know how to do that no more. I want to at least know how to capture that sound on my own, and so I can keep being consistent with that sound. Okay. So, because I think that's an issue that a lot of artists have when they're like one hit wonders. They team up with a producer.
Stuck.
Yeah, and that producer leaves, or they can't pay for it no more, and then they just don't know how to capture that sound no more. Right. So yeah, but I don't think that would happen to me because I produce. I'm always studying things. I'm
the shit, motherfucker.
I just study a lot.
No, it's all love. Okay, so last thing we ask everybody before you get up out of here, man.
What?
The year can't end without Hopsin doing what? You got to make sure the year doesn't close out before you do this.
See, I got weird goals. I want to skydive by myself. I go skydiving quite often, but I want to jump by myself, and that's kind of, I'm scared to do it because
don't you have to have a certain amount of hours to do that shit, or
I mean, you gotta. I've jumped enough. I mean, I've done 3 jumps already by myself, but I mean not by myself with the guy. Yeah, but I want to. But I really, really, really like this year. I told myself that I keep thinking about it. Like, man, I just need to go and just go through a little training thing and get it done because. It's scary because it's all on you. If you fuck up, it's all on you.
That's fucked
you know what? And you know what? Because I want to go. I'm going next month.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, but it's something comforting about knowing that if you die, it's not your fault.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know it sounds fucked up.
No, I highly agree. And knowing that somebody's with you on your
That's
fucking
gonna die with you.
Exactly.
I didn't die alone.
Yeah.
Like, he fucked up. That's why I died.
Yeah.
He fucked up.
Because then if you see like Hopsin trying to skydive by himself, you be like, this nigga trying to, what the fuck he taking? Like, it's going like, of course he died.
Yeah,
What
you
the
don't
fuck?
have to absorb that blame.
Yeah. Like it's but if I did that shit, like, cause the high that I got off of skydiving, like the first few times, was just like insane. It was a great feeling. And, like, I just feel like I was just flying, even when I was just driving back home to my house. I was like, man, this is crazy. And if I jump by myself, I feel like I'm unstoppable. You can shoot me in the head. I'll be like, hey man, I just jumped out of a goddamn airplane. Like you can't stop me. I don't like that. It'd be such a great feeling. So and another reason I want to do that is because one day I want to jump. Like I want to perform at a festival like Coachella or something, and then skydive into with the parachute and just hit, because you can control the shit with the
No, so you gotta know how to do that shit before.
No, but the way if you jump by yourself though, you'll learn how to do it anyway, because they do that. Yeah, because these guys, like when they're skydiving, they land right on the spot that they're in the same time. I mean every time. So I want to. Tell me that wouldn't be crazy. That's gonna shut the music industry down.
Nobody's done that yet.
That's some different shit.
Hip hop. In the music industry in general. Have you ever seen anything like that?
I'm pretty sure some white people done did it.
Somebody did that shit at the Super Bowl or some shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Rappers in general just
some
don't
white
skydive.
people did it before.
Yeah. I just wanted that shit to be.
But not nobody in hip hop.
That shit'd be crazy.
J. Cole not doing that.
Not
doing it.
Just imagine like you just at a festival waiting the stage light up, and then the DJ go, oh shit,
they go
on.
on.
Like that. Everybody go
rapping as you're coming down
with the mic.
No, that's what I'm talking
about.
That's what I'm saying. No, and then just the song start.
Just
like,
start spitting. Yeah, that'll be
land on top. Like that's what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna lie, that'll be.
That'll be ill. Yeah.
That would probably. Yeah, you
shut the rap game down. You shut the rap game.
I'll probably buy all your shit.
I'm like, this nigga's crazy.
That would.
Yeah, I would buy the shit.
That would be so.
Yeah, that would be epic. I like that.
All right, so you got the show tomorrow.
Yeah, Club Nokia.
Club Nokia, man.
Yep.
This is the coming out party. Well, did I say
that's
right?
That wasn't not cool.
Right.
I'm like,
it's the hop solo. The hop solo.
There's our headline.
There we go.
Hopsin coming out.
You said that. I didn't say that
on Friday.
I didn't say that.
So this is you doing. This is the first time you're performing, in front of a live audience. After everything's going down.
Yeah.
Solo man, doing your own thing under the new regime. Hitting reset, man. What are you walking into this? What can the fans expect on tomorrow?
The whole live show is just completely different. Like
really?
I have a whole like a band orchestra type thing. Like it's on some. It's on some low-key Kanye shit now.
Okay.
Like I'm taking it there, and I didn't realize I've always had the money to take it there, but I was with Dame, and he
kind of tricky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was
tricky.
So I didn't know that I was capable of getting that type of show, and it didn't even cost that much. So it's on a different level now. Like I got some song like now the way everything is, I'm bringing that real emotion to some of the songs. The hype parts are just really hype. It's just a whole different feel. I got the whole lighting. I got the superstar. I got the Michael Jackson going on.
Oh,
okay.
That's what it is.
Got the MJ flag.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram at Hopsin Son, HOPSINSON. I'm on Snapchat, same name, Hopsin Son. Twitter is just Hopsin. Facebook, Hopsin.
Hopsin Son.
Hopsin Son.
Okay, so I was thinking
Son.
Hopsin's. I thought it was Hopsin's on. Like,
Hopsin's.
On.
Oh, shit.
Hopsin's on.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Hey,
I was like,
damn.
Hey, Hopsin's on right now.
Like that.
On right
now.
So whatever you
whatever you want. Yeah, Hopsin's on. Damn, I didn't think. I never. Wow, they just fucked my head.
Use that. You use that. You got that. Hopsin's on.
Shit.
We gonna need.
He said, "Oh shit."
We gonna need you to get the percentages right.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
2, 4, 6.
It can't get kind of.
It
can't get tricky.
Tricky. Hey man, see, and we going in and we going out with the Sirens, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it.
Sirens,
HomegrownRadio.net, bringing radio
Back to its roots.
Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, Miss Bliss. You can follow us at Homegrown Radio, Instagram and Twitter, of course, Facebook.com/
Homegrown Radio Net.
Hey man, I think it's checkout time. Go ahead with that checkout.
What up,
time.
Hannah? I see you.
Oh, was there any more questions from Facebook or anything? I think we done. We done. Fuck that. It's checkout time. Fuck that. Yeah.